Whether we like it or not, he's the self-proclaimed governor of Mid-Missouri, and he's the host of TTBS, the podcast. Here's Tom Bradley.
Now, for anybody who caught the first one around, Nikki sounded a lot better that time.
Yeah.
I will give it up for Nikki Garman. Thank you very much. We're live from Truman's Bar and Grill. And here, where we have a special live band performing on Saturday night. You'd know that if you followed the Music Beagle. Follow the dog. MusicBeagle.com. And that's Ellis Bennis from Floating Axe.
It's good to be here.
.com, by the way. He provided our howling sound effects this morning. The Pontoons call themselves, let me get this right because I want to see it again. They call themselves Down Home Midwestern Yacht Rock and Soul. Down Home. What are you doing?
There's no video.
Here
it goes. It just popped up. Okay. Sorry.
That's just delayed.
Yeah, it was just a delay.
No,
I apologize.
That's you.
I apologize.
That's you on that thing.
All right,
no cover, no reservations. Pontoons. The Pontoons live on Saturday night at 7 o'clock this Saturday at Truman's Bar and Grill. Our guest on the show this morning, the CPD Police Chief, Jill Schluty. And she's been on... Is this going to be a third time in about a year?
Yeah.
And but she's being joined this morning with the CFD Fire Chief, Brian Schaefer, and they're going to be talking about the 1% safety sales tax. And thinking about it this morning, I made a decision in which I'm not going to be arguing for or against the safety sales tax this morning, but what I do want to ask the two of them, from their positions and understanding and knowledge and administration, what exactly will the tax mean for the police department and for us citizens and for the fire department and for we who own houses out here? What does it mean for us if it passes? What are they going to be able to do with that money? And then what does it mean if it doesn't pass?
Right.
Is it going to be the end of the world for us, or do we trudge on, or is it something we can work on and maybe bring around again? I just want to hear their perspective on these things. They're kind of, as they refer to it, as people would refer to it, they're making the tour right now to educate us, the citizens. So coming up at the end of the show, we will have Keep Your Eye on the Crap with Family Focus Eye Care. And I'm going to give you a little insight into what this is. City of Columbia is now organizing a homelessness steering committee. God, it's just, you just can't figure this out. We're talking about the Opportunity Campus just opened.
Yeah.
Monday.
Yep.
Monday night for the first time. We put millions of our available dollars, millions into it, and we have earmarked millions more in the years to come, every year in operating costs. But now they want to have a homelessness steering committee. I'm not only going to talk about this, I'm going to give you the list of who all is on the committee.
Ooh, good.
Just to let you know, don't have high expectations,
Yeah.
I guess is ultimately what I'm trying to say to you. So keep your eye on the crap, and that's coming up at the end of the show with Family Focus Eye Care. But in the meantime, I-70, improve I-70 update with Emery Sapp & Sons, your locally grown and employee-owned company. And I believe the words from Dan, the last time that Chip Jones was on, the words were, hey, don't get Chip in trouble. Chip, did I get you in trouble last time you were on?
I don't think so.
Because he works with you.
Yes.
And I didn't know if maybe nobody gave you a reprimand or anything?
Not that I know of, unless it's secret probation that I don't know about.
That might be the thing. My job here, when we have our updates, is to put you on the spot and ask you questions you might not know the answer to, because it's fun.
Yeah, you do a good job of that, too.
He's good at just making stuff up also. Chip's like, I don't know.
And you don't know when I'm going to make something up.
That's right.
That's how you test the pudding, just to see exactly what's going on. I don't know where that came from. I just threw that out there. I do want to ask about a couple of things. One is we are going to, I think it's on July 27th, we're going to close down another ramp at the Providence Road intersection, lack of a bridge with I-70 right now. There's no bridge there because the SS took it.
Yep.
Took our bridge from us. But there's going to be a ramp coming up. It'll be closed. It'll be closed for a number of months.
Correct.
Coming up. And I saw you guys posting that, MoDOT posting it. The thing is, I don't even know how many people are going over there, like on Providence Road, going up Providence Road to get to that ramp to get on. Hasn't that road been kind of closed off anyway?
If you're going eastbound and you get off of the ramp, you can go downtown Columbia, and if you're going the other way, if you're going westbound, you can. That one's closed, so you're kind of hosed anyway.
Yeah.
But if you're coming down south, you can at least go westbound if you need to. But yeah, we're gonna unfortunately got to start closing them. All four of them are gonna be closed here at some point to finish that whole interchange.
Yeah. You're saying it'll be closed for like a few months?
Until I think October is when we're scheduled to have everything open back up.
Will the bridge be done by then?
Yeah.
No
Hopefully.
way.
Yeah.
God,
I hope.
that seems
towards the end of October, but I mean October.
Well, you haven't had any rain the last couple of weeks to complain about. Well, not too much.
Well, I was going to say, I think it rained here this weekend.
I guess maybe it did on the weekend. Did we have that?
I don't know. I was working.
I was working. But the speed at which you guys do this work is amazing with ESS. It really, and the planning, I guess, is the biggest thing, is to make sure everything's planned right, so that when you go to do something, you can get after it and get it done, right?
That's hopefully the plan.
That's the plan. Yeah. I did sit through some of the meetings with you guys. Did you notice I haven't been back to any more meetings recently?
It was so exciting the time you were there.
It was really more than I could possibly contain. There are a lot of people, though, that have gone to work for ESS in the last 10, 15, 20 years. You guys keep growing, and I see that you're farming it out there because you have the ESS Foundation, in which you're helping young people to maybe become interested, even just take a glance into the construction industry.
Correct.
And learn what they could get involved with. You got people that might go through 6 months or 2 years of training, and they start into a profession that they're going to have for the next 40 years if they choose, with good money.
Yes.
And great, a solid work that they're going into. They're always going to have a job ready for them.
Well, the other thing the foundation is, too, is getting out to the school teachers, the counselors and stuff like that, to also tell them this is a great place to be.
Mm-hmm.
With AI going, there's some careers that probably aren't going to be there in a few years. Construction will always be there.
I don't want to talk about that, Chip. Can we not talk about that right now?
Did you say about that shit?
No, Chip. I don't want to talk about that, Chip.
All
right. No.
I thought suddenly that I was like bleeding off on you. Like, I don't want to talk about that shit right now. Chip.
That's too close to home.
Make sure your name should not be confused with such things.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry about that.
Well, and you're really battling. I mean, for like 20 years, it was like, don't go into blue collar careers. Yeah. Go to college. Now we're like, hey guys, we really need bulldoze drivers. We really need high lift drivers. Yeah. We really need truck drivers.
I mean, it's huge out there, and it's a tremendously rewarding career, and people are finding that out. But I saw something else, and I wanted to ask you about. Can I bring up the subdivision or no?
You can. Go right ahead.
You guys, when I watch ESS and what you guys are doing, you'll be taking care of a highway like you are here. It's a huge part locally in Columbia of the I-70 project that's going on. But then you'll be working on an airport. Hell, you were working on Tolton's football field facility earlier this summer.
Oh, cool.
Right now, you guys have broken ground on a new subdivision in Boone County. I think there's going to be over 200 lots. I'm not sure how many different dwellings will be on there.
Where's it going to be?
I don't know.
Oh.
That's what I was going to ask.
Does Chip know? Do you know?
I was asking him which one he was going to talk about. There's more than one subdivision in this town that we're working on it.
Oh, that's
time.
cool. Yeah.
So now I'm going to get in trouble with Dan, who said, don't get Chip in trouble. Dan, by the way, who I want to congratulate on his nuptials. He's going to be getting married. He has proposed to Lindsay, and I guess I didn't explain things to her very well. She said yes. And so we cannot be more happy for this couple that we've grown to love. So congratulations to them, and he's a part of the ESS team. Let me understand this right. I did a couple of trips since the last time we met on I-70 to St. Louis. One, I was a passenger, and I got to watch my son-in-law white-knuckling it through some of those corridors. And then a week later, I was the driver, and he was the passenger watching me. And I'm in my big-ass Black Thunder out here, and it takes up a lot of space. When are we going to start losing the freedoms we have on I-70 between Columbia to Rocheport and start getting everything narrowed? Has it happened already?
What you see for us is going to be pretty much the norm. Providence is probably going to get the tightest.
Okay.
But everything out on the rural section, we already have the barrier in place. We're actually doing our cement stabilization to help get the subgrade ready. We're putting rock on there. Going to be paving hopefully in August. This in between the median, between the barriers.
Wow.
So what you're feeling right there is going to be what you feel for the next couple of years in that area. It's going to be a little more open anyway, so it's not white knuckles. I will say Providence eastbound here in the next month or so is going to get a little tight because that opening between the abutment of the bridge and the center column gets pretty tight. We have to lower the pavement there because of clearance issues with the bridge. We want to make sure we have 16.6 clearance through the whole corridor to get it up to standards.
Which you guys
going
are
forward.
actually like the highway is higher than the current highway, but then you're talking about lowering it for there. So is it mostly just lowering under the bridges?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
In some areas, we'll kind of certain curves are not meeting standards, so we'll kind of adjust those in a couple of spots as well. But as far as at the structures and stuff like that, we are lowering them to get the vertical clearance.
No, I bet some genius out there's like, well, you got to put a bridge in. Why don't you just make the bridge taller?
Bridge taller.
And it's like, well, you can't make it taller because then Providence will just hit it.
Yeah.
It'll hit the edge of the bridge.
So if you start going higher at Providence, you have businesses right there, and then you're like taking businesses away, and we're trying to avoid impacting them as much as possible.
These are all these things I never even think about. I'm just like, just get the highway done. That's all I care about is get the highway done.
Don't you guys have – there's specific limitations on the incline percentages and
Yeah.
stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So then you have to stay in those norms.
Try to as much as possible.
Why do they have to
Look at
have
that.
rules?
I know stuff, man.
Yeah, I
know stuff.
Yeah. I'll tell you what we're going to do. From now on, the two of you are going to have this conversation because obviously all I do is screw it up.
You get to blow stuff up, though, man.
Yes, I do.
You get to blow stuff
You
up.
met a couple of things. You've got it. I'm going to say it's a concrete plant that you guys have put in out at Midway. I went out there and checked it out, and you saw the video that I shot of there. I can't believe what you guys did. It was like overnight, and suddenly there's a place where they're making concrete. But you said the word CEMENT moments ago. Say it again for me.
Cement?
Yes. Now, do you call it cement or do you call it cement?
I say cement, yeah. Because the other one sounds a little, like it could get mixed with something when you're dealing with teenagers.
Okay, all right, yeah, I don't want to get into that. But you,
Cement, okay.
You're from a rural setting in Missouri. You're down from near the lake.
Yeah.
Cement.
So yeah, get this. Because that's what Jed Clampett used to say. It was the cement pond.
Cement.
So
I'm from the Ozarks. Yeah, what can I say? I'm a redneck.
Hey,
I guess.
we love it. We love it.
you don't look like a redneck, and we're starting to get fan mail coming in for you about your hair. That it's some of the best hair in the business, and we do love it. Dude, thank you for letting us do some joking around. At that Providence Road where you said it's going to get pretty narrow, what will the speed drop to there? 55 or 50?
It's 50 right now, and it's not going to change. When I say it's going to get tight, right now it doesn't feel tight. It's just going to feel a little more tight.
A little more.
Yeah.
You said it's 50 right now, and I know you're not in charge of tracking what people are doing on that highway. You know they're not going 50 right now.
No.
This is the part that's really upsetting, because as I get on from, let's say, from the 63 connector crap that it is, and I'm making some merges going on, all of a sudden before I know it, I'm already at that place. And I haven't even figured out what the speed limit is, and everybody's going 60, 65 through there. Mm-hmm. This is where we keep saying, you guys have to slow down. I don't know what the hell to do.
I'll tell you what, the semis are the worst right now.
Yeah.
And there's some semis abide by the rules and others don't, and the ones that don't are the ones that are causing the biggest problems.
I just follow them. I'm especially with you with that massive Suburban. You can't be next to them when you're going through those corridors.
It's really
when we
difficult.
get in, I literally just tuck in behind a guy and just stay there because I'm like, I'm not going to get sideswiped.
Yeah, no, I mean, it really. That's why I don't understand a semi hitting this area like they're going to hit the area.
Yeah.
Because why don't you slow the hell down? At no point can you have people coming in from all directions at you and have these roads narrowing, and you've got that big truck out there. I'd be going 40 through there and let people get pissed off if they might. I don't care.
Yeah.
But thank you for the great work you guys are doing and for keeping us informed. Thank you to MoDOT also and the great work you guys are doing with your planning, too. Chip, we'll have you back on in August. And do you want me to reach out to you ahead of time to ask about subdivisions and names and things like that?
Absolutely, yeah.
I've got one more question.
I did reach out. It was just 30 minutes beforehand. What is the other question?
So I wanted to know, we were talking, I mean, obviously the I-70 project is huge for you guys, but honestly, like what percentage of that is of ESS? Because you said there's multiple subdivisions, there's all kinds of other projects. So is the I-70 thing like, little? Is it like a 10% of your business or 20%? Again, we love to throw numbers at you, Chip.
Yeah.
So it's probably 30-40% right now.
Wow.
So,
that just gives you a concept of how giant they are.
Yeah, no
That's
kidding.
so
And
cool.
I mean, we have two of the largest projects on I-70 we're part of, so that it's eating up a little bit of our resources. But
That's really cool, though.
any other time depends on the time of year it is. Sometimes the subdivisions are a little bit bigger and are commercial type developments, Amazons, that type of stuff. Right now, the two projects are keeping us afloat. So
cool. That's really something.
That's
man.
awesome.
Plus, you got a chance to brag just now.
Yeah.
Like, well, we're pretty big.
Yeah.
Not that size matters, but
Like
it
which
does matter.
subdivision? There's several.
Yeah. Thank you, Chip Jones.
Thank you, guys.
Emery Zapp and Sons. Follow ESS on their social media pages as well as MoDOT, specifically the Central Missouri District, and take it from there. All right, we tripped and fell. I say we. It was really me getting into the show today, and I guess, I don't know, if it makes anybody feel better, I'll apologize for it.
That's not bad.
Is
there
that
was just no audio on this audio podcast. It's no big deal.
I know.
We're good.
That brings us to this point in the show.
Yep.
All right, our announcement of the week brought to you by the Hounds at Creekside Pet Center and Bed and Biscuit and Dirty Harry's in Boonville. And don't forget that Dirty Harry's has like 3 groomers on board. And I saw a post and then they go, don't forget, we groom cats. Oh, my God. That must be, and I mean this, I love animals.
Yeah.
That must be the worst thing in the world is try to groom a cat.
I can't imagine, yeah.
And the cat wants to sit there and lick themselves like I groom myself.
I can do this myself. Why are you touching me?
Why you stop touching me? Why do you got to be like that? Thank you, Creekside Pet Center, and your incredible teams for loving our pets almost as much as we do, and on some days even more than we do. This is the big announcement this week. I saw this, and it's going to be a big announcement, right? Because I believe it. This time, I finally believe it. The U.S. House, this is a federal case. The U.S. House voted this week on Tuesday, not even a full 48 hours ago, to pass a measure to enact year-round daylight savings time.
Yay!
This would be across the
Very
country.
happy.
It would rely on the states to make a decision if they want to opt in or not,
Yeah.
but Missouri will.
Yes.
Missouri will. Do you know who has been behind and pushing and praying for this to happen? Donald Trump.
Yeah. It was part of another bill that didn't go through, right? Or like they pulled out the daylight savings time stuff? Because I remember I was
You mean
really excited about it.
recently,
Yeah,
or-
like literally earlier this year, I thought.
I'm
So
going to miss that. But
I
mean,
was
this-
so excited for it because, I mean, the fallback is great where you gain the hour, but the spring forward is absolutely brutal.
Changing it is stupid.
Yeah,
and I
100%.
read this today. Listen to this crap. If I can find this over here. Talking about what it could do. And states opt in, states are embracing it. Yeah, not to mention the work and money spent on this thing.
Yep.
Detractors said it could have economic consequences.
How?
Yeah, we could all save more money.
Yeah.
Particularly for farmers who would have to wrestle with later sunrises. I'm sorry.
They can change their clocks.
I'm not a farmer.
Right.
I don't know what the hell you are talking about.
Yep.
The sun rises when the sun rises.
Yeah.
Like the farmer's like, I got to get up at 5:30 today. It's the sunrise.
Yep.
It's not like the corn is like, well, we can't do a thing with this. This is not. I'm not gonna. My tassels are in a tassel right now. I mean, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm reading this.
Yeah.
Furthermore,
Yep.
the House vote to do this was 308 to 117. 117 idiot asses who have been sent to Washington are like, we can't handle this change. And what is wrong with you?
I don't get it at all.
It's so stupid. Do you realize how much change there is between the time on your clock and the sun rises and sets anyway?
Yeah.
It's changing constantly.
Literally always. It's never the same.
And all you do is F up everybody's biological clock.
Yep.
We all have jet lag for once a year, and then, twice a year.
Yep.
Screwing us up. So anyway, that's a big announcement.
The fire department might not like this, though, because they always use daylight savings time to say replace your smoke detector batteries. So I don't know what they'll do then.
Well, that's a wonderful idea and a question we can bring up at this
Absolutely.
time. As we bring our guests to the table this morning, and Chip Jones was a guest as well, but he's kind of like a regular now.
Yeah, he
so
is.
it's not quite the same thing.
Yeah.
But we do want to talk about this possibility of a tax we may be passing in August. So back to join us again to talk about this. The CPD Police Chief, Jill Schluty. Good morning, Jill.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. And you brought somebody else with you today as well. What do you got?
Oh, she's much taller than I anticipated.
Are you sitting on a phone book over there?
No,
Not
she's
this
just
time.
way taller than me.
She has better posture than the other
Oh,
three
yeah.
dudes that are
Yeah,
sitting here
absolutely.
right now. And joining you today, we do have the CFD Fire Chief, Brian Schaefer. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Nice to have you
Well,
here.
my biological clock's a little mixed up. I'm not sure.
Yeah. We usually say biological clock, and they're always talking about women and when they're if they're wanting to have a
right.
child or not.
I got one too.
You've got what?
A biological clock.
Maybe I don't want to know about that.
It stopped.
Jill, good morning, and thank you for coming back on. It hasn't been that long since you were here. But, man, this is a really important issue that we're talking about, and I have never been so perplexed over an issue. The statewide issues we're voting on, I already know the way I feel about that, and I am adamant, and I can't wait to share that in our special broadcast coming up in early August. But Jill, this one's really tough for me. Can you understand that?
Can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear myself.
I'm sorry. I'll give you a little bit of this. How's that over there? All right, very good. Do you want me to repeat that then, since you have no idea what I just said to you?
I kind of got the part about...
I am perplexed over the 1% safety sales tax. I really am. It's really tough for me to grab. You know the way that I feel about you and your department and every single officer, every retired officer who's part of that pension, anybody who will retire, including yourself and that pension fund. It's very, very important to me, but I don't know what to think about that. I'm not here to argue for or against it this morning, but what I'd like to know, and this is what we'll get into, is what is it going to mean from your perspective if this tax is passed? In the simplest form, that's the way I'm going to say it, and what's it going to mean if it's not? So you're out there right now and you're trying to sell this, I'll put it that way.
Well, we're trying. I mean, really, it's a huge educational campaign. Really, multiple times a day right now we're doing. I mean, probably by the time this is over, we probably will have done almost 30, 40 speaking events at different things. So we have 2 today, I think. So we had 2 yesterday. So in that respect, I think a lot of it is just educating people about how we got here, what the actual ask is, what the funding mechanism would be, including the ballot language, how the money would work, what it would be used for, what it wouldn't be used for. And then, overall, what does that mean? How does that improve operations from our perspective? Why did we ask for this? Because we were tasked with coming up with this plan. So,
well, where do you start?
It's
$38 million a year.
Yeah. So the first thing I'd say is I think it's really important for people to understand that when we were asked to come up with a plan, and you explained this really well, what's your little thing about we finally budgeted to a plan?
Yeah, so I came in from the outside about 2 years ago, and one of DeCarlin's first directions to me was, evaluate the fire department. Tell me what you think. And so I did, and identified a number of gaps. Staffing was the first one. The stations are abhorrent. They're in pretty serious state of disrepair. They're not what I would expect from a professional fire department. I laid that out to them.
So that's you coming in from the outside and saying that, because I haven't heard anyone say that before, and I'm not going to say that I'm not saying I don't trust you. I'm saying, we must have got used to seeing what was going on.
Well, I think
that's true.
Yeah, I think the historian here, Jill and everybody that we've talked to have told us that city managers in the past told department heads, no, don't bring me anything, where you're not going to get anything. They were never really engaging the public safety leaders or listening to the public safety leaders to make changes. So my shtick with this part of our conversation is that the city has never budgeted to a plan. They've always planned to their budget. So they got the very bottom of everything, and everything, unfortunately, the world has grown around them. It's gotten more complex, and they're still operating as a small town in 1984.
Yeah.
And so we brought that to light. I mean, he listened. The consul asked questions. The consul engaged. They listened. We went to fire stations. We got the union involved in the very beginning of this and engaged the employees. They're the ones doing the work. They're the ones making all the sacrifices and taking the risk. Listen to them, and we did, and that was the catalyst for the plan that we brought forward to the council and to DeCarlin.
I'm gonna point something out as we get into this. I've never had a police chief and a fire chief on at the same time before, and I've had a lot of friends in both departments, in other places too, but especially here in Columbia. And we've had a lot of jokes, against each other. It's a wonderful little camaraderie and combative attitude they have. And the cops are like, oh yeah. We go into a house to bust a drug dealer, and there's pictures of us dragging them out by their heels. But the drug dealer starts a fire, and then there's pictures of the firefighter carrying the baby out in their arms. Here's the problem with you firefighters or with you police officers. Here's the problem. Police officers take it on the chin a lot, and firefighters don't. But what happens is we talk about the police department what's going on and maybe what they need all the time. And I never talk about, no one talks to me about the fire department and you guys need anything. You're always there. You save our lives. Everybody's happy and you go away with a parade. But I didn't know you guys had needs going on out there or that we may be understaffed by one crew member for every single crew.
Yeah, exactly. The number's 42, and that puts the fourth person on every one of our apparatus, which brings us up to the national standard.
That's the national standard is to have
four people. And the minimum is 4 people per
So if a
apparatus.
truck goes out, we need 4 firefighters on there, not 3, and we've got 3.
Exactly. And when I first came here, there were companies with 2. So we've improved from where we were in the beginning, but we need to get to 4. That's the goal with this proposal and with Proposition 1.
And as we talked this morning about what we're going to expect, if we get the $38 million and it passes in August, you're going to get that 4th member.
Yeah, within 4 years. Our goal is to, both of us have internal academies, so we're able to train our own people, certify our own people through the state, and they're going to be 100% mission focused. Our academies are going to be running almost 24/7 to get enough people within 4 years.
Well, that's impressive. It's impressive to talk about that, and I'm glad we're talking about the firefighters because we just don't seem. What does come up is that the city's grown both in population and in acreage, and we need a new fire station. And when I hear those coming up, I always welcome that, and I don't know if you've caught that yet, that the feeling across the town is we understand the need for a new fire station. I think insurance agents would respect that, right?
Yeah, actually the insurance piece really is a good dovetail, especially if you're a business owner, because if we're able to get this 4th person, and with this plan we'll also be adding as we annex or as we grow as an organization, as a community, you should see we're expecting to go to an ISO 1, which is the absolute best that you can have. And that would result in a decrease in people's insurance rates.
The ISO is?
IS Insurance Service Office, I think, is the acronym.
Oh.
But that's who sets your property insurance, your costs.
So you're saying if you guys get this 4th man, then our department gets better, and therefore our insurance premiums could go down potentially?
Premium's the word I was looking for, yes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, that might offset the amount that you pay in sales tax.
Well, I'd like to see that.
Hey, that'd be really cool, man.
The amount that's stolen from me from hoodlums out there in the streets.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the cops a little bit too now, Jill. And I've been here for years saying we need more officers. We're way below what we're supposed to have. And I envision a Disney World that Columbia turns into where we have more cops than you can shake a stick at. Yeah, they're everywhere, and that makes me feel safer. I love it. I haven't seen a cop just kind of cruise into our neighborhood on a nice day in probably 25 years. It doesn't happen.
No, it doesn't.
We also don't have a lot of crime, specifically in my neighborhood. When I did a ride-along with one of your officers years ago, as we were driving around, we swung by the Hollywood theaters, and he says, we have problems out here all the time. And I was like, really? Didn't know that. He goes, the rest of the neighborhood, never. We have nothing. And I go, well, that's my neighborhood right there. And he goes, yeah, we don't have any issue there at all. Then he took me on other places like college apartment complexes. He goes, every Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. I go, why? He goes, they get in fights. But they're drinking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fueled by Busch Light and Fireball.
Hey, let me ask a question. Has that gone down now that we have more marijuana use? Is everybody just hanging out and eating
Is everybody
pizza?
chill now?
Yeah.
Not from my perspective.
Okay,
but
that didn't work.
yeah, that was not a bonus from all that.
I was hoping for that.
I was hoping
bonus.
it chilled them out a little bit, right?
I know. You guys have a lot of work to take care of. There's no question about that. And we need more cops. If we get this tax passed, are we going to have more cops?
Yes, absolutely. And I think the thing that Brian and I really focused on when we came up with this plan was there's really 2 problems. The first problem is today as we sit here is capacity. So probably right now, if I looked at my phone, I would guess there's maybe 12 police officers on for the entire city of Columbia.
That's crazy.
So that's not even 2 officers per beat.
Yeah.
The city's divided into 8 beats. That's like minimum in my mind because of exactly what you said. I get asked all the time about 2 of my most unfavorite words in the world, which is community policing, and I only say it's unfavorite because a lot of people don't understand it or they mystify it and make it into something that it's not.
It may be used in more than one type of a category and context, yes. Yeah.
But for us, that is really just about you should have the same cops in your neighborhood every day, the same group, right, across different shifts, so that if you have a problem, well, if it's Monday, Jill's going to come. And if it's Wednesday and Friday, then Brian's going to come, or whatever it is. And that way you form that relationship. People feel like they can talk to their officers. It's just the way policing was always intended to be.
Well, it gives you a continuity as well. If the same officer drives the same beat, they will notice stuff that's different.
Absolutely.
And then they can act.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that crime prevention piece, we do all this surveying with the city. Crime prevention is always up towards the top of things people are wanting us to do, but that requires time when you're not answering all these 911 calls. It requires time to go, hey, I'm going to go out and be proactive. I'm just going to drive through my neighborhoods. Or in my perfect world, you'd get out of your car and walk in a neighborhood and talk to neighbors and go to the school and go to the new business. But you can't do that when you have 2 minutes of discretionary time every hour, which means you might get to pee or eat a corn dog, right? I mean, that's just the reality of it.
Or pee while eating a corn dog.
And some people probably do that. I don't want to know about that, but
I would say you got to be careful. There's a lot happening right there.
Don't switch hands.
In West Side Story, they sing to Officer Krupke. I still know. I love musicals, so I know the name. The kids in the gangs in that storyline knew the cop.
Yes.
And the cop knew who they were. And while it might have seemed like a really shitty situation all the way around, they actually did know each other. And there's something that happens to a kid growing up in a neighborhood when they actually personally know a cop. It's a whole different relationship that begins to happen when they're 3 and 6 and 8 years old, and they start forming something there, and it means something. I'd love to see that. You don't have to have a cop in my neighborhood walking the sidewalk. If they do, they can come grab Daisy and take her for a walk with them. But we do have neighborhoods here that probably need that level of thing. Do you think that if this tax passes, we'll be able to have that?
I do. Now, I will tell you, like right now, we've got to dig out of this hole. I mean, 2 or 3 police chiefs ago, we were talking about needing 50 cops.
Jeez.
So really the need is bigger than 50. We just think, I think in 4 years, pretty easily. I mean, we've hired 40 in a couple years, but I think we can hire 50 easily in 4 years. What this money would allow us to do is not only catch up with what the needs are right now, but have a plan for the future, because that's the other huge problem. We've annexed on basically the population of Jeff City since 2000.
Holy cow.
We've added the size of Jeff City's population since 2000 and another 15 square miles of land.
And I'm looking at that right now. Since 2000, we added 49,000 people to the city of Columbia. This isn't the greater Boone County area. This is the city of Columbia. 49,000 people. And part of the problem that old men like me have is a tax is based on a percentage. So as we grow, didn't we grow the tax and we were able to take care of things like our fire departments and police departments during that? And I guess the answer is no.
Well, and I think part of what's driving this, and somebody brought up this question yesterday, I think part of what's driving that is, and I'll use a really kind of weird example, but when I started, we had a camera in our cars for traffic stops, but you put a VCR tape in the trunk. I know I'm aging myself.
Oh, man.
But to make a point... There's so many things Tom wants to say right now.
Yeah, man.
At least it wasn't Super 8 that they had there
no.
at the time. We have to go develop our film now,
yes.
you guys. But I don't know that those tapes were always being used for official police purposes, be that as it may. But go on.
So, because some of the people who also use those VCR tapes.
Yes.
I'm quite sure you've probably seen some of them.
Yep.
But you did. You had a red VCR tape that you put in the trunk of your car, and you locked the box, and then you went about your day. And that technology seemed really cutting edge and expensive back then. Well, now look at today.
Yeah.
You've got a body-worn camera. You have a taser. Our firearms are not cheap. Our radios are thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, all the equipment, the bulletproof vest, your belt, everything that you wear is exponentially more expensive than it was then. Yeah. So the technology alone, just to keep up with that, is a huge expense. But I think I can't imagine now not having a body-worn camera. Mm-hmm. And what started out as just I'm recording this interaction is now we have body-worn cameras that if we have the funding, those cameras are capable of actually writing the first draft of a police report.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
And so also I think right now they can translate in real time 32 languages.
Whoa.
So if I encounter somebody that does not speak English, it will recognize what language they're speaking and it can translate back and forth.
That's
amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
That is unbelievable.
But those are the things that are coming that I think obviously our community, we have a large population of folks who don't necessarily speak English as their primary language, especially with the university.
Yeah.
And so there are opportunities there, but they cost money.
Let me on the money situation and like a per officer, and I want to ask Chief Schaefer next. What are we up to? Because I remember back when we talked about it's about $100,000 a year, and then I think we were getting to the point that we say, well, it's about $150,000. Is it more than $150,000 a year to outfit a cop and have them on the force?
$130,000 a person.
That's
not counting the car. So for every 2 officers, we need to buy a car. So you figure 2 officers is $260. I hate public math. But adding the car, so 2 cops in a car is $360,000. Now here's the other thing people don't realize.
Cars, does that mean the car's $100,000 for a police
But
cruiser?
you got to think all the technology that's in the car.
Wow.
So
I mean, the seats are plastic. It should
yes.
be cheaper.
Yeah, it's not a Cadillac.
How long do we keep one of those cars? Is it gone after a year?
5. We try to keep them for 4 to 5 years.
What is the mileage by that time?
Over 100,000 miles.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And the seats
it
shows it. Yeah. There's a lot of creaking that goes on when you drive it.
But usually that's the car.
Yes, usually. Part of that I think is important for people to understand is if you look historically over the past 26 years, when we added police officers to the budget, on average over 26 years, we only added like 2.25 police officers per year on average. The problem is it takes 4 police officer positions to equal a 24-hour-a-day clock to cover 365 days a year because our folks get time off, they take vacation, they go to training, they get sick, they have babies, they do all these different things. And so so unless we add 4, which is actually 1, we're not getting anywhere. So I'm not surprised we're in this hole when I went back and looked at the history, but I think that's why it seems so critical right now because we have this deep hole we're in, especially with staffing and facilities. He had a fire station that's sinking into the ground. My building is 93 years old. It was never created to be a police department.
And you mentioned, I think last time, that you have a pan to catch the water over your desk, so it's not dripping on your desk.
A couple weeks ago, I heard a noise down the hallway, and I walked down, and there were 2 men with a sawzall cutting out the cabinets in the kitchen in the break room because mold had infiltrated all around the hot water heater in there.
Did you know that was happening?
No, I didn't know what. I thought
when somebody's got a saw and they're working on the police department, I want to know what the hell's going on. Sounds like a Clive Owen movie. Chief Schaefer. And I'm going to go back and talk more about those officers and what it costs. I've never heard an expense per fire department employee. Well, what is it? If we add a firefighter, what is that generally per year?
Yeah, generally about $175,000.
And your trucks are not $100,000.
Oh my God!
He's expensive.
We do not involve the trucks. But it's a cost for risk. And really we have the ability to reverse negative consequences and save somebody's life. Most often people don't interact with us until it's their absolute worst day. And then they want the absolute best. They want 10 people on that truck. They want us there in 3 minutes instead of 5 minutes. And so we're trying to meet that balance, still meet all of the standards. Our personal protective equipment has, just like the police department, everything in public safety. Once you put the name of public safety on it, it seems like it doubles the cost.
Sure.
It's crazy, the amount of money some of these things cost.
Well, we have a lot of expectations and rules that come in, and we got to make sure everybody's taken care of. I want to thank you guys for a fire you put out recently, and I knew where it was because I recognized the duplexes that were involved. Somebody had a barbecue grill catch the outside of their house
I was
on
at
fire.
That one. Yeah.
And you guys got there really quick, and they said because the people made the phone call quickly, and because you guys got there so quick, you kept the fire from spreading and becoming a real, what could be a nightmare for everybody.
Yeah, it was, there was some flashing. It was almost in the soffit. We were there in 3 minutes, and actually had water on the fire. The first 2 company was amazing. I talked to that officer afterwards. It's exactly what the public expects, but their performance was outstanding. 3 minutes, search both floors for victims, and put the fire out. It's just absolutely incredible.
And do you guys search everything, even if somebody goes, no, nobody's in the house? Do you still go in?
Yeah, absolutely, because the people don't respond normal to crisis unless you're trained for that, and so often they forget about their brother that was.
Oh, grandma.
Or
grandma's passed out in the chair.
Yeah. So absolutely. I mean, we check and double check.
That's
absolutely.
Awesome.
So $175,000. So and the public does such a poor job right now of keeping up with facts, figures and actual news. And I know that, and we'll talk about it after you guys are finished when I go to Keep Your Eye on the Crap. We'll talk about the Homeless Opportunity Campus and how many beds are in there and were they full, because the word on the street this week is that it was full the first day it opened, and it was 300 beds. Everybody who thinks that is wrong.
Right.
I will give you the facts on it at the end of this. But everybody thinks they've got this. So in talking about a firefighter, if you want to have one on board, it's $175,000 a year when everything's said and done.
Yes, sir.
And if you're talking about cops, we have 12 out there right now taking care of our city. If you want 13, that means in order to know we always have that, we'd have to add 4 more.
Yes.
And 4 more comes out to roughly $800,000 a year.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. So I might be giving it a couple $1,000s, but I don't want somebody to come around and say $100,000 each, because it's not that, and it's not 150. You're closer to. You're really leaning up on 175. You were talking about maybe 200 at some points.
I think what's important to note that's baked into this plan too is, so for the police department specifically, and he's in the same boat, you know, we made some really good gains in wages the past 2 or 3 years. We got some good increases. We got our folks' starting pay bumped up. We were really competitive in that respect. We were in the top 3 probably agencies in Missouri as far as starting pay went. Just in this short amount of time, because there's such a bidding war for public safety folks right now, we've dropped from like 3 to 9 very quickly in the most populous cities, and we're the 4th largest. So now we're at number 9 for starting pay. We're at 10 for your top pay. So your pay ceiling that you can get as a police officer, we've dropped to number 10.
What
and
is
so
your starting pay for a new officer?
60,000 basically.
Yeah. Which some people think like that's a lot, but it's like, okay, keep in mind any other $60,000 job, you are not shot at that job.
Right.
So it's like, think about that in terms of what you guys are putting your lives on the line for.
So an important part of this is we have to have a way to stay up, you know, caught up with the bidding war that's going on for personnel. But the other key is if we come and we say, hey, this passes, and we go to our bosses and say, hey, we need to raise the starting pay by $5,000, right? Well, we have to raise all the existing employees' pay too, because otherwise you get this pay compression.
Right.
You have a 10-year cop making the same as a new cop, and that does not go over well.
Yeah.
Understandably so. So we have to have a mechanism to be competitive, because hiring is one thing, recruiting is one thing, retention is a whole nother animal.
Yeah.
And we can address both, I think, with this plan.
Let's talk about a part of your infrastructure and capital improvements, okay? And Chief Schaefer, if I can ask you, I only have a couple of the notes over here, but like one, you'll be a renovation of Fire Station 4. Where is Fire Station 4?
Fire Station 4 is up on the north side.
Okay. And the renovation on that would be happening in 2027. $6 million.
Right.
$6 million renovates the fire station.
Yeah, exactly. But it's taking it stem to stern. I mean, completely redoing it.
That's not the one that's sinking, is it?
No, that's Station 5. These were 4 and 6 were built in 1971.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
Yeah, they were never built for occupying 24 hours a day with 4 people or women, or took in consideration all the carcinogens that we bring back. They're carcinogen-laden bunker gear is right next to where they eat, and there's not much of a separation. They're so small and they're so compact.
I don't want to give anybody an idea, but it sounds like you're liable for a lawsuit in such a situation.
Yeah, it's a risk. It's completely a risk, and you know, if it's predictable, it's preventable. We want to prevent those job-related cancers because it is prolific through our industry. I just found out about a new one this morning over New Melly. I mean, it happens so often in our job, and anything I can do during my time here to reduce that risk, I'm definitely I'm going to be all in to do. So that includes 4 and 6, and then Station 2, because of the acreage that we have there, we're probably going to have to build up, so that'll be a little bit different. It'll be a 2-story station instead.
So that means you get a fire pole.
Yeah, we will.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of the people are excited about that. But, you know, we find ourselves, I don't know if it's like this in your profession, but we find ourselves going full circle a lot of times because the stuff that worked back in the day still works now. You know, after you get through the bullshit, you finally realize that is a way that things were supposed to work.
Well, I've followed the older folks around me for years, and they laugh and they go, "You'll find out."
Yep.
We already figured this shit out during World War II. You want to go figure it out again, but you'll find yourself back to what we came up with. So it's nice to hear that this money would be going towards something that we need. Obviously, I can tell that without it, we're not going to be able to fix these places.
No, in fact, our new decision items were patches, and we have mold everywhere, and we have stations that are just falling apart. They were never meant to live this long. So our new decision items that we proposed forward that we are not going to be able to fund because of the budget gap, those are fixing those areas, new HVACs, new roofs, or at least fixing the holes in the roofs that we have. But there's a ton of work that's really been ignored, and
I feel like it's one of these inner city Catholic parishes, where, where it's like, we need to do something, folks. We've got rats coming in here. I don't even think they've been baptized. Right? I'm serious, but it's different.
Even the rats have cancer.
They do. But I mean, I did not know we had such problems.
No, me neither.
Really, with the fire stations. And Jill, because of you telling us last time, that's the first time I thought you guys were just too small and cramped over there, which I'm sure that's also the problem.
Yes.
But
I would condemn that building. I mean, when she took it to me, we would, if we had an alternative right now, the fire chief would condemn that building. It is not safe for occupancy. We were in there in the 1900s, early 1900s.
Not to give you any crap, but the reality is the fire marshal has to okay that
right,
building.
I know.
For occupancy.
But
is it not going to be occupied? I mean,
I would not give a certificate of occupancy if it was if I was up to it. Right
if
now.
I try to make coffee in my office and the deputy chief next door, because the HVAC system is wholly unreliable, so if he turns on his space heater, all the electrical blows, and you have to go to the box and flip it. Yeah.
Now,
that's not funny. It's pathetic.
No, we have to laugh about it or we'll cry.
Oh my gosh! She's like, I'm making coffee. Don't turn on.
No, that's
your
the conversation. Literally.
It's terrible.
I hope.
Oh my god!
Do you guys still have any holding cells in that immediate area for?
We do,
detainees or whatever?
We do, and we try really hard not to use them because, again, they're not in any better shape.
But I was just hoping that maybe if somebody really needs to be locked up, that maybe they also are uncomfortable.
I think all the air conditioning in the building goes in the holding cells because people will wet toilet paper and try to cover the vent with it because it gets so cold back there. So. But you think about it.
What geniuses that we have that we're locking
up. There's some misused talent down there in the holding cells.
There is. So I mean, I think I'm getting the idea about if we don't pass this tax, it's going to be really bad. We're not going to have the staffing that we've been looking for a long time. Obviously with the police department, not as obviously with the fire because we just don't talk about you guys. We love you and you're there.
I really want him to tell you, I learned something throughout this that I didn't know, so talk about the ambulances.
Okay.
Well,
because I think this is going to really blow your mind.
I think for us, part of the future of our organization right now, we're piloting having firefighter paramedics. So 2 of the stations in the city have paramedics, and those paramedics remain in the city and they treat your family when you call 911. The transport system in Columbia is managed with 2 private ambulance entities, and both are hospital based. But they have a business model where they're transporting people throughout the state. They go to Fulton, they go to St. Louis, Kansas City. They're gone all over. They have a deployment, but there's nothing in statute that requires a number of ambulances to be in the city of Columbia. It's just a handshake agreement that we'll do our best to try to keep ambulances here.
There's no one that knows that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that.
I really didn't until I heard him talk about it.
And you're the police chief.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
But, I mean, it's just the way it's always been here. I mean, even when I was a kid and going to school, that's just the way it's always been. But I think moving forward, my commitment, if this pilot works, which all the data that we're seeing is it has profound impacts to have that paramedic on the fire truck. They stay in your neighborhood. They're not transporting. They're not going out of town. We're going to commit to making sure that we have a paramedic in all of our neighborhoods. It's going to take time, and it's going to take training, and it's going to take support, but this tax allows us to do that.
That would, huh?
Not interested in the ambulance business, let the private ambulance services have their model. They bill for service. They have them all.
First aid is first aid, and ambulatory is ambulatory. Yeah. And so, and it's great to have someone who can handle first aid on the ambulance, right?
Yeah.
And we need that. But when we have a problem and we call 911, the first thing we're going to see in the world of first aid is going to be cops there who know their first aid, but also paramedics who can jump right in and be able to handle it all, right?
Yeah, most often you'll have firefighters because I get the same screen that she has, and our cops have 3 pages. And you did a ride-along.
Yeah.
3 screens full of calls that are waiting. That's their life. They don't have time to go to emergency medical calls or help the fire department. They've got their own world that's cooking and is incredibly stressful. So you're going to see a firefighter first, and your ambulance may be coming from Hartsburg, but we take care of that patient until the ambulance gets there, and then may or may not accompany the patient to the hospital.
Are you making a joke about Hartsburg?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there was an ambulance.
I was just thinking, do we have to wait for the
No.
ambulance? Could they just chuck me on the board and throw me on the back of the truck?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you guys aren't that far, you know?
Well, the ambulance services do a really good job, but it's not a guarantee.
Right.
Being a resident here, I live here, I want to guarantee that I'm going to have a paramedic at my house in 4 minutes or less 90% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, when there's a bad accident out there on the road on Grindstone, it's a firefighter that's going to be there, a paramedic that's taking care of you on the pavement.
That's the goal. That's what we do now, and I think that the transport part will stay. Hospital-based, private ambulance service-based, whatever they call themselves, whatever they bill, that's fine. But when you call 911, you're going to get a Columbia Fire Department EMT paramedic that's going to take care of you, and we're going to be there.
Growing up, I had the chance to learn from a bunch of really, really great men that were overseeing our Boy Scout troop. And they were all educated, committed to the community, and so concerned about everything around them. That's who I learned from. So when it came to safety and first aid and preparedness, that's everything that I learned. And we don't, as a community anymore, we don't talk about these things. We just sort of take it for granted. We're so damn lazy. We take it for granted that you guys are there, and if I need 911, you'll come in. But we have to talk about the nitty-gritty on how it works, and that's what you're doing for us today, and I appreciate it.
Well, one reason why you don't know the status of the firehouses or the status probably of everything is we have amazing people that will jump in and swing hammers and fix things themselves unless it gets, unless they get over their skis with electricity or something like that. Our folks have done that for years, and I'm saying now we need to stop that. Yeah. People need to know what the reality is, and then we need to do it right moving forward. I want them to be focused on training because we have so many new people. And developing those sets and reps and getting good at their job, that's what I want them to be doing. I don't need them to be pouring concrete and going outside and doing shrubbery work.
And you're not editorializing. You're serious. Like,
I'm
they've
serious,
had to swing hammers. They've had to pour concrete.
And they're awesome. They're awesome at it. Probably a lot of the people that growing up, they did their own work in the firehouses. Yeah. They fixed everything themselves. Wow. We're trying to get away from that. I don't want you fixing toilets, which it's endearing. But, we're too busy now. This is a city. This is an urban service delivery. Yeah. They're putting their lives on the line. There is no 912. Man, you get one chance. It's 911. You call, we come, we're there within 5 minutes. You get a human that answers the phone right away, and we take care of the problem and we leave.
I'm so glad we're going deep on all these directions. And Jill, that you said we need to have Chief Schaefer in here also with us on this. And I think it's really, really important, and to understand where these dollars are going to go. I want to talk about the police headquarters that we could get, but before we do, the 12 officers that are out there today, I want to understand what happens when we wind up with a chase on, I love when they call it a police incident. Stay away from this area, there's a police incident. It's like, the police didn't cause something, just so you understand. It's like they're responding to it's really an asshole incident. So I think that's what needs to go out.
If you can get that as a CAD designation,
I want it to come over. We have an asshole incident on Grindstone. Because it's really what it is. Yeah. When you have one, when there's a threat to public safety and to the cops' safety, if somebody grabs an officer in the middle of a traffic stop, if they reach out and grab that officer, and there's 12 that are out, only one is there, there are 11 more, how many will be over there in the next 2 minutes? 5?
Probably as many as can go in certain situations. So the Highway Patrol had the pursuit north on 63 a couple weeks ago. We actually there was a shooting in the county. I think there ended up being 2 homicide victims in the county. The street crimes unit from CPD just happened to be close by, sees the suspect vehicle. They get in a pursuit with them. We're northbound on 63. Everybody's going that way because this is it, right? You're chasing what you believe is a homicide suspect, double homicide suspect potentially. Everybody's going that way, right? And so during that, you've probably seen the videos online because the Highway Patrol's put them out there. We let the trooper get up there because they're trained to do these vehicle intervention tactics, pit maneuvers. Yeah. And so they get up there. He executes that beautifully. And in the course of that, there's shots fired. The suspect's firing at the trooper, and the bullet goes through the glass and out the other side.
Damn.
And so we're all set up. You got to look at it's amazing video. Yeah. But our folks are all set up there. So you got Boone County Sheriff's Department, CPD, Highway Patrol. We got a suspect shooting at police, and so we have to deal with that incident. We got to shut the highway down. Yeah. We're using drones to try to make sure what's going on with him. Is he still alive? Is he just waiting for somebody to approach the vehicle? And so all the resources
get neutralized, or how did that end?
Yes. Yes, I believe he shot himself was what the press release said.
From the initial investigation, they'll go deeper on, but I think that's what they're going to find all the way through.
There's a difference right there between the town mentality and the city mentality. So the town mentality is, there's a big incident, go to the incident. The city mentality is we still have active calls here. Yeah. So every shooting that we have, every major car collision, you'll see a number of law enforcement officers and fire, but we have a city of almost 200,000 to protect, especially during the day when that swells. We don't have a lot of bench strength. We need those additional people to provide a bench strength for that second, third, fourth, or in her case, 50th call that's been waiting.
We don't have a lot of capacity. I mean, 2 decent size incidents and we're wiped out, and that's also pulling
that's when it's time to rob the bank.
I mean, honestly, if criminals were smart, they would be listening to the radio and going, hey, everybody's busy right now because there's a burglary in progress down here, and there's a 17-car accident on I-70 over here, and so everybody's taxed to the max right now.
Do you try to get other officers called in at that time? Like, do you have to go? I know you're having breakfast, but you need to get your ass in here right now.
We can't. I mean, obviously that's tough. We have a system we can do, like, hey, we're calling Broken Arrow. We need people to come in. We try to do that but I'll tell you, for the first time, I've been at CPD 21 plus years, and for the first time within the past couple of years, we've had to institute mandatory overtime because we just didn't have enough people. It was either never let anybody have time off, deny time off, you don't ever get to take vacation or comp time, or we had to figure out a way to go, okay, we're gonna have to set up a system where everybody's gonna have to take a bite of the what sandwich and come in and work overtime.
Is that overtime time and a half?
Yes, it is.
Which is also costing us more money.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So, and I want to segue into, you really got my blood pressure up already early because you brought up the thing about how many beds are at the Opportunity Campus or whatever.
Yeah.
We've been dealing all week with the absolute horrible reporting on the budget cuts to police and fire. That is not true.
Is this the $7 million?
Yes.
Okay, there are stories out and saying nobody's reading anymore.
No, or like read the budget and then write a story, right? I mean, understand, because if you look at our budgets on paper, mine's going up by like $60,000. I'm not losing $2 million, but like he talked about, you have to understand the process. So really quickly, every year, the very first thing we do in January is we have to come up with what we call new decision items. So things that do not currently exist in your budget. There's a personnel piece to that, so you want to add people, and then there's a things piece to that. So for me, like one thing was we need to replace our drone fleet.
Okay.
So that's $85,000. So we bring all that, we get preliminary approval from the manager, but that's always contingent on money. So we asked for all these things. He had repairs he needed to do. He had some equipment he needed. And so we made about that much in asks. Well, a lot of that is either no or it's on hold. And so we didn't get our budgets cut because I think there's this big weird conspiracy theory that like, oh, now the city's going to cut the budget and make it look like this is what you get. Nobody's trying to do that. Our budgets did not get cut. Now I was told, hey, we're going to have to wait and see on replacing the drones. I'm like, okay, because I know if push comes to shove and we have to have drones, all of our drones right now are made in China. So good chance, I think, that the state or the federal government will probably start outlawing and force you to buy U.S.-made drones, which is our plan anyway. So that's going to be a cost. But I know that if something happens and tomorrow, Kia writes an executive order and says no more Chinese drones, there is a way for us to get that money. They'll have to take it out of reserves, which we try really hard not to do because that's not an never-ending pot of money.
Yeah.
But we're being told no to these new decision items because the other thing is we have to be able to give employees at least a cost of living increase every year. Right. And we can't do all of it with the current funding. We can't give the proper cost of living increase to all the employees and add on all these extra things. And we get that. So it's a give and take. But I am so beyond frustrated with the news media right now because I read headline after headline. Police and fire department are getting $2 million cut from their budget. Fake news.
Yeah,
they need to do their homework before they put pen to paper.
Well, Jill's over here reading this like, I am?
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, this news to me.
That's news to
Well,
me.
it plays into that conspiracy, which we're trying to debunk with factual information. Like you said earlier, people don't read anymore. Facts matter. Opinions are fine, but facts matter. And the facts with this is we're not cutting budgets. We're just not buying those new decision items. In my case, it's those repairs to the fire stations.
What's really a shame in reporting and media today is that while some things have opened up, like our ability to sit here with no scripting, there's no clock, there's no format that I have to follow. We can sit here and openly talk. When we finish, you guys will be like, I think I'm pretty much done. I'll be like, well, I think I am too. And you're like, we've cracked this whole thing open and exposed everything, and I'm exhausted. And that's something now that didn't exist 10 and 15 years ago, and we get to do this right here. The bad side of this is that we have so-called reporters that aren't reading and actually going deep on the information. I'll watch a story, I'll listen, I'll read a story, I'm like, this is verbatim what a news release said. They didn't even check to see if any of this is true. It's the same wording.
Every idiot with an iPhone can be a reporter, basically.
And that's a lot of what's happening. It's really a shame that we're here in Columbia, the home of the University of Missouri, and the
with
J
a journalism school.
And it's world-renowned. And it's really not about Mizzou and the J School going down. It's about what's happening out in the actual real world out there. And we just don't have the level of expectations anymore on the reporting.
A lot of assumptions and a lot of AI. Unfortunately, and I appreciate this. I'd rather meet one-on-one with somebody and explain our situation because I think it you can read the gravity from my perspective. Everything we do is involves lives, and I know it's hard right now. I know that taxes are a big issue in this community, but I don't think. Well, I can't be positive or negative. I can just show you the consequences of not, right? I mean, that's kind of where I'm at.
Well, and to realize what's at stake here, I mean, we all have that. The idea of someone thinking, I wonder if there's a conspiracy behind the scenes, that a couple people have colluded together and they're causing something to look a certain way to try and convince me in a direction. I don't blame people for being suspect because it's been happening their whole lives from every damn direction coming at them. Yeah. And it doesn't matter if it's a soap company trying to sell them something or if it's a city council in Columbia, Missouri. And it does happen. That's why I am glad we're talking to you guys right now. Of course, Jill, you're pro-police. You're the police chief.
You got me.
I would like you to have a corner office in the new headquarters, and the only pan I want you to have in there is like a pan of brownies that somebody brought you because you guys did a great job, I don't know, rescuing something the day before.
And let the lady make the freaking coffee whenever she wants to. Turn off.
So we will, if we pass this, we will abandon the downtown condemned location.
He will force me to, probably.
There'll be yellow tape after they leave.
You know what?
Steve Shaver's going in there with sledgehammers.
I have caution tape. It's not police, but it is caution tape. Cool. I will help. I will donate that to the God.
It'd be live.
Hey, Tom has blown stuff up before, so I'm just saying, if you want to take a building down, he's down.
The cost of the new police headquarters, Jill, they have that you guys would be spending on through 27, 28, and 29 would come to $35 million. Is that enough?
Probably right in there. So we did a kind of a exercise with an architect and a project manager to see what we use that building, would it work, and then kind of how we would use that space. And
this is a building on Lamone Industrial that already exists and the city already owns.
94,000 square feet. It's on about 12 or 13 acres. It's got, I think, 800 parking spaces. It's a good facility. And so we went through that exercise, and at the end of it, they said, now this was about, it's getting close to 2 years ago that we did this. So construction costs has obviously gone up some, but between $35 and $40 million. We would get in that building, do everything we need to do to make it fit our needs, which would include, we would keep the north station, obviously. So if you don't know, all the cops that work the north side of town, it's the North District, which is, it's not a perfect line, but essentially everything north of the business loop-ish. All those cops go to work up there. They don't all come downtown. All those cops on the north side go to work up there.
And what's the name of the street? Because I lived on Bodie Drive.
When International Drive.
So International is what connects to that, and that's the newest station sitting up there.
So
I wish you would have put that in when I still lived there, because the bullets coming down my street, it would have been great to
I think
have
it
you guys
did
out
help
there.
with some
was
issues
that named
up
after
there.
Molly?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
So we would move our training academy is in the first floor of the Turner Jones building next door, which is the building just to the south of us at the corner of 7th and Broadway. We would keep that space, actually, because I'd love to use that as kind of, I don't want to abandon downtown completely.
Right.
So we could keep our hopeful downtown unit that we would recreate.
Yeah.
Then the actual beat officers that work Beat 70, which is downtown and East Campus. And then also Beat 20 officers, which is kind of your Douglas Park, Central City neighborhood. They would report down to that station.
Okay.
So we'd actually have a presence in 3 places.
Nice.
I also like the Lamone building because, the Lamone IBM building, because getting emergency vehicles in and out of downtown Columbia has not gotten easier.
Nightmare.
And so between pedestrian traffic, vehicle traffic, it's just not a good situation.
If this had been a few years back before we got the twin bridges put in on the other end of the Lamone complex and industrial area, it wouldn't have worked. You guys would have been pigeonholed in the one side. But now you have access. You can get out in several different directions at one time.
And they just did that amazing intersection improvement.
Which nobody's figured out yet.
We have been writing tickets down there, just so you know.
I'm glad. Is
for
it U-turns?
Yes, U-turns.
You dumb sons of bitches. I don't know what to do for you. This is... Jill, I want you to know, first of all, that you have a true supporter in me. And I didn't know, I don't know if we've ever talked about this, I didn't know you were the right person for the job.
Sure.
When they named you police chief. I understand.
I didn't know if I was the right person for the job. I mean, honestly, till you're in it.
You and I have so much in common. So we've got that going for it. But we've both learned now you are the right person for the job. I know that. And this is more important. I know people that have not been happy with the direction of the police department for a long, long time, and they are also supporting you now. And I don't know, these are people you probably know personally, and I don't know if they've come out and told you that yet, but they've told me.
I appreciate that.
And so I want to say it now, not only because of you and I, but also for everybody listening to know that there's a lot of support going on for you. And I don't have the same feelings for the rest of the leadership at City Hall. And I talk about, I've already said it today, I talk about it damn near every single show. Chief Schaefer, I really appreciate your perspective on this and your frame of mind and the way you speak to the subject matter of the fire department. And you've really got my eyes open, really paying attention.
Yeah, very much appreciate that as well.
Well, thank you. It sounds to me like if we don't pass this, I've pretty much got an idea of where we're going, which is not good at all.
Downhill.
Yeah.
Downhill.
We want to move forward. And I describe to people, if I describe the state of the police department right now, we are almost 100% reactive agency. Yeah. And when you see people saying, hey, I want more crime prevention, I want to see cops in certain places, I want to see more officers downtown, we had a lady meeting ask, do you have SROs in junior high schools? Because we're seeing this violent crime stuff kind of start. I said, no, we don't. I mean, we don't have the capacity to do that. And so I think thinking about the fact that we are a city now, we need to staff this like a city, and frankly, we owe it to the men and women that are out there doing this work to give them buildings that they can come and work in where the heating and air conditioning consistently work. And there's not mold in the building. And they don't have gear that's full of cancer-causing agents right next to where they're eating and sleeping. And they have enough staff to take a vacation with their family. Or I have this really weird theory that I truly think if a cop had more time to just go out, because if all day, every day, you're just dealing with people that are angry, they're at their worst moment, bad things are happening, they don't get to have the interactions I get to have, which is people coming up and saying, hey, support you guys,
that's
doing a great job.
Makes you feel so much better.
Honestly, the past few weeks, it's what's kept me going. Between that and my husband constantly being there and being understanding, like that's what keeps me going. They don't get that all the time. And so when you have that discretionary time to go out and see the folks in the neighborhood, stop in and have a bite to eat, it just renews your faith in humanity and that you made a good decision in your career choice, and they don't get that a lot right now.
You know, I got to tell you that people don't know what goes on behind the scenes in a lot of places, right?
Yes.
So in my early days in radio, most of my early days, the studios were shit. It was so bad. You know, you'd hear us on the air. It's like, great to have you again here on Y10 Hits, and come on and join the great time. And we turn it off and go, who is in the bathroom? Because the bathroom next to my studio, they'd flush the toilet. It came through the ventilation. I'm like, oh, God. That's the reality. I know a retired officer. He retired out of Columbia Police Department years ago, and his son is on the CPD force today.
Yes, he is.
What I would like to have is the older guy who I love ripping on. I would love him to complain that his son has it better than he did.
There we go.
And I don't think that can happen right now, because I'm sure his son is like, no, Dad, we got mold coffee. That's what we have every day here. You have no idea. And he's probably like, when I was there, everything was beautiful. We have to get to the point that people, and you've seen some of the radio studios now.
Yeah.
Zimmer over on Lamone.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
They're gorgeous.
God, it's like the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
God, you can actually flush a toilet. It doesn't go.
Tom's
into the
over
studio.
here like, I'm not bitter.
I want that retired cop to sound like me.
Yeah.
And we didn't have anything like this when I was police force. And we need to get to that point. And same thing with the fire department, Chief.
Thing.
I mean, all the way through on both of these. I'm going to share everything again on that Friday or Monday show when we get into August and we're going to talk more about this in the next couple of weeks. But I can't thank you guys enough. Before you leave, is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't get into?
Just that people need to clearly understand the ballot language was specifically constructed to the money can only be used for police and fire.
That was my favorite thing to learn.
Yes.
I'm so glad that our city can't be like, I'm going to take 20 million of this.
Yes.
That's good.
And I think the other kind of underlying fear with that is, well, what if they do the bait and switch and they start taking money?
Right.
The mayor, and it's in our presentation, they've made a commitment to keep that general fund transfer that we have right now. And the reason I feel confident in that, because I've seen 5 city managers, I don't know how many council people, too many to count.
Yeah.
I will say that the reason I have faith in that is because, number one, we passed a park sales tax in 2004, I think. Oh, maybe a little bit before that. And at that time, the parks was getting a regular like $5 million-ish general fund transfer. And they said, hey, if we pass this, we're not going to claw that money back.
Okay.
We're going to keep giving it. That has been true every single year. So we have that history.
That's good to know.
And then I will also tell you, other little known fact, we run our departments off of a very thin margin. So 85% of our cost is personnel. People. So if they tried to come and say, hey, because the other $4 million is gas and bullets and training and emergency expenses and the fees we pay to have HR and law and IT and all those things we need to make ourselves run.
We could just fire HR. We could save a lot of.
You don't want me running HR. But if they said, hey, we're going to take some of that would almost undoubtedly result in personnel cuts, which is the exact polar opposite of what this whole thing's trying to do.
Right.
And I think this community would probably
revolt.
There would be a huge rebellion if we said, hey, because I've never seen police and firefighters be cut. Yeah. I just have never seen that. I don't anticipate that happening in the future. It would just be counterproductive to the whole plan.
And
go ahead.
No, the big picture for us too is how many proposals have you ever seen where fire and police are together, our unions are together, the elected officials are together, the staff at City Hall are together. Everybody's leaning into this, and from the accountability standpoint, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to have to follow through, and if they don't, I mean, we've got people out in the public. It doesn't get more transparent. They've got the ability to make changes.
I think what you're saying is very true. I think the timing of the county asking for an increase in tax is unfortunate. It's not for the same reason, even though crime may be attached to it and public safety may be attached. And I think it's right that they push that off until November, and we can deal with that on its own at that time, and not have these two competing with each other, and that being the reason we do or do not do something. Yeah, I think we've got to go to this with open eyes. And again, I'll talk about it more in the future, but my support of the administration of the city above you guys is not there. And I want changes to take place. I don't think I'm going to get my wishes on that. I think some people that are in office will continue to be in office for years to come. So I go back to what the CPOA said, which is you can either vote for this thing and have it and face those people you don't like in City Hall, or you can not vote for it, do not have the additional officers and the support and the firefighters that we need and the facilities taken care of, and still have the people you don't like to face in City Hall. So there we have it with that.
I just want to issue a challenge to our viewers and our listeners and stuff like that, too. We see officers around town. They're in gas stations. They're stopping. They're checking on stuff that they're not actively involved in something. Just say thank you. You know what I mean? Like, they're not getting those soul-healing interactions. So we vote for the tax, don't vote for the tax, like whatever your thing is there, but just go freaking thank an officer. You know what I mean? Just walk up to them, say thank you very much for your service. I appreciate what you're doing, because they don't get those good interactions. So I just hope our viewers do that.
All you have to do is also wave when they drive by. Hey, man, nice to see you.
With
just
all
use
5
all fingers.
Yeah,
exactly. Okay, I feel like I'm done here.
On that,
They've sucked you into their world.
Yeah.
On that note, I do hear the guest bed coming up saying we're going to let you guys go. Chief Schluty and Chief Schaefer, thank you so much for being here and taking so much time.
Yeah.
And by the way, beforehand, you guys were playing musical chairs back here to keep yourselves out of the camera shots.
I kept moving the cameras to get them.
Dang it.
That was kind of funny. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Please reach back out between now and then if you guys with an email or a text if you want to let me know anything.
And if you guys get questions, we're happy to answer.
We'll do it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
I will vote for the Friday show. I think we should do the show on a Friday, because then it'll be on over the weekend. People will be able to ingest it over the weekend, as opposed to Monday and then boom, the thing is right after. So I vote for Friday.
It means you and I have to work 2 days in a row.
Oh, wow.
Now, I just... And you know what's going to happen after that? Yeah. People will expect it from us. Yeah. You guys can work all the time. Yeah. And that'll piss me off. Yep. People will come up with that kind of. It doesn't work like that. It has the podcast has been really interesting. You and I have talked about this off away from the show. I haven't brought up on here. The impact that we make now with approximately a 1-hour show per week seems to be more, and it's hard to compare apples to oranges here, but it seems to have a greater impact. I don't know what other word to use, compared to 15 hours of daily radio that I was doing. Now, for me, it was easier to do 15 hours as far as you go and you're doing 3 hours, you got formatics that you're following and everything else. Yeah. I actually did not talk as much during an hour's time as I do now.
Well, you had 2 or 3 other people on.
Yeah,
100%.
And you're following these other things that you're going through. But this just seems to have a greater impact that people are paying attention. Plus, something I think that was happening is if you're there 15 hours a week, it becomes a droning noise.
Right.
And people are just like,
it's like everything else in this world. It's like they want it more compact, they want it tighter, they want it quicker, and I think we're delivering that.
It sounds like the media is like sex. And what people are looking for. Okay, well, that note brings us to this.
Are you ready? You gotta keep your eyes on the crap.
You can't handle the crap.
Looky here, there's a big difference between shit and shinola.
As my great-grandfather always said, Matumba, keep your eye on the crap.
Next time we hit that, I'm going to say, I want you to go on and join with Matumba.
Matumba.
Keep your eye on the crap. Keep your eye on the crap with Family Focus Eye Care. And thank you very much. I did have our buddy Dougie Fresh say, "How's your eye?" He'd heard that about it, and I said, "It's interesting, but what's more important is my mind. I am so at ease after I went into Family Focus, and I go, how come my left eye's got this new floater in there?" And they look and they go, "It's okay. Floaters come and go, and they break up." Did I tell you that Dr. Rich said your eyes are like a snow globe, and sometimes things get shaken up.
Interesting.
And I said, really? He goes, and I said, nothing happened when I was out working outside. He goes, maybe the lawnmower vibrating, we don't know. And I go, wow. I said, but I'm okay. He goes, you're okay. But it wasn't just him saying it. They took their technology to take a look at my eye and did the whole thing. The deal is I have been put at ease from them, or I've also been put on alert from them because of them being in charge of my eye care. And thank you so much. Family Focus Eye Care. Keeping your eye on the crap. It's a really important segment of the show because I think more people need to pay more attention than they have been. Columbia City Council has now created a group dedicated to strategically and comprehensively taking a look at homelessness in our city. Now, I read that from ComoBuzz.com, and Mike Murphy, he wrote it that way. He says the council has established a steering committee to create a plan focused on the issue. Do you know what a steering committee is?
No, I've never heard that. I mean, I've heard it before, but I don't actually know what it means.
I don't think the people on a steering committee know what it means.
Right, yeah.
A steer committee, that'd be a group of cowboys.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, come on now, boys, get on there. Aha! A steering committee. Well, look at it this way. Let's say that you're in a vehicle. There's your beautiful family minivan sitting out there. How many seats are in that van?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
We could have a steering committee in there of 7 people. How many steering wheels do you have?
Just 1.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, then, So if everybody was trying to get their hands on the wheel to steer the vehicle, that might be difficult.
A little chaos.
I don't know why they call it a steering committee. I think you know what? I've never been a part of a steering committee. I've never said, let's organize a steering committee. I don't want a steering committee.
I've never said, let's organize a committee in my life.
I don't blame you at all. A steering committee. This month, they came up with the idea to form a committee to look at homelessness in our city. Now, there's a couple things you got to understand.
This is after finishing a multi-million-dollar homeless center, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
after.
And somebody's going to say, well, that's not the city's. Bitch, I'm going to tell you right now. The city of Columbia received $25+ million in ARPA funds during COVID, $25 million. And they were going to do things to address public health and economic impacts of the pandemic. The economic impacts of the COVID pandemic. Well, I had some in my household. Did you?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Crock of crap on this thing.
Yeah.
They gave over $3 million of the ARPA funds to the Opportunity Campus on the business loop. No, it didn't pay for the whole thing. I think the whole thing was like $18 million. But they did put $3 million into it. Did we have a committee help them figure that out? And the answer is no.
Nope. There was just, I'm assuming, was that just a city council decision? Like, did they just say we're going to do this? Or was that a city manager? Or I know they had to go. I mean, I know somebody had to decide it. Are those people still in office now?
You can keep talking.
Okay, I'm just going to have to keep talking.
Okay. Take care of this.
He's coughing through something else. Oh, man. Well, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me, especially I feel like this committee should have been formed before the Opportunity Campus. Like, we've been talking about this for years. We've been talking about the issues in Columbia for years with all the homelessness that's going on. And so now we're going to have a steering committee.
And that's
Are you okay
really,
now?
That's really the greater issue. Well, I'm fighting through a cold, so I'm doing what I can.
I'm going to move my chair a little further away now.
Please do. So you need to understand a couple of things. We spent millions there, as you said.
Yeah.
Before where they put, why the hell are we putting a committee together right now at all? Why?
Yeah.
Who's on the committee?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Alan Fish from the MU Police Department. Well, nice we got a cop on there.
I like
Betsy
him.
Peters, a Columbia City Council person. We don't need a city council person on this. Chief Schaefer, who was just on the show, the chief of the fire department, will be on this. Conrad Hake from Love Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Dr. Emily Fondon of MU Healthcare. I guess part of that makes sense. I guess to have. No, let me back up. I might want someone from healthcare, but I don't want an administrator. I don't want a bureaucrat. I don't need someone.
Doctor.
I want. She's a doctor.
Yeah, but
I need someone to say no. What's happening when they do that is they're having a heart attack.
Yeah.
What they need right now is some Narcan, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know why she's on there. Janet Thompson, Boone County Commission. We don't need that. Jessica McNear from the VAC Opportunity Campus, who was on our show a couple of months ago. And I'm going to give you we don't need that to talk about homelessness in Columbia to try and figure it out. She's part of the campus that is going to be helping to take care of homeless, they believe.
Yeah.
And while she was a great guest to have on the show, one of the things I said, I hope you work yourself out of a job.
Right.
Because if the people that are homeless in our area are truly from our area, and you guys truly can take them in and help relaunch them back into a substantial life where they can pick themselves up, then there won't be a need.
Right.
Not for this
They'll
size.
be well employed, they'll be well housed and sober.
Jill Schluty, chief of the Columbia Police Department, will be on there. She's got better things to do. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Dr. Kendall Lewis from Columbia Public Schools. To talk about 16-year-olds living out of a car, which I know happens.
Wow.
I don't think we need someone to represent CPS to be there. Lily White Boyd, Columbia Chamber of Commerce.
How many people are on this thing?
More.
Oh, my gosh.
Dr. Mel Constantine Missio, Flourish Initiative and the Center Project. I don't have any idea what the hell that is.
That was word salad if I ever heard one.
Megan Steen from Centerstone. Centerstone is what was formerly known as Borough Health and Preferred Family Health Care. Now, they deal with people with serious problems in their lives that a lot of it is to do with mental health.
Right.
as long as Megan actually understands the numbers and what the hell those people are going through and how Centerstone is helping them and everything else about that, I'm glad that she's on this committee if you're going to have one. Melissa Clark, Missouri United Methodist Church. Praise God. I have no idea why we need that person. Maybe because I don't know.
Yeah, because Wilkes Boulevard was the church that we always heard about.
Well, Wilkes Boulevard is
gone now.
Is gone because without the money they were taking to take care of homeless, there's no need for the church anymore. So those people are now part of the Opportunity Campus.
Hey, my church is exactly 100 yards away from where they were before, so we're trying to be.
Rebecca Roselet, City of Columbia and the Columbia-Boone County Public Health and Human Services. Now, that sounds like someone that should be involved in something we're going to do for homelessness. I don't have any idea if what she brings to the table. And Shelley Meyer from The Crossing in Columbia, so another church.
All right.
Do any of these people, I know that our fire department and our police chief, I know that they're involved with this thing because they're taking care of this crap on the streets every single day.
Right.
Betsy Peters from the city council, she doesn't need to be on this damn committee.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Furthermore, if you look at the Opportunity Campus, here's what people were telling me this week. First day they opened up, they were full.
Is that true or is that fake news
300
too?
beds. No, it wasn't even true. If you want to go look it up, the first night they had 100. I want to make sure I get the numbers right to you. They were not at capacity. They had like 65 or 70% at my ballpark is what I'm looking at over here. And I think they have a capacity. They have a capacity of 150 people is what I'm reading. And so I think people have the wrong information, and they hear it on the streets, they see it on social media, and they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, 100%.
And so it's important that you see that. Now, what does that mean? I don't know, but don't say that there are 300 beds and that was completely full on Monday night because that's not true.
Right.
I don't know what 150 beds will do for overnight accommodations. It's better than none, I guess. Do we need 300? Do we need 500? I don't know. Furthermore, I will tell you the numbers of people on the streets that you would generally call homeless has fluctuated. So have the methodology, the methods of reporting, and I think some of the truthfulness of reporting what the numbers are. So, just pay attention.
Yeah.
This segment is called
keep your eye on the crap.
Keep your eye on the crap. If you pay attention to it, I think you'll understand a few things. I don't think we need a committee. And they're supposed to come up with some answers for the city by the end of the year. Well, if we needed a committee, maybe they should have had one a couple of years ago when you guys decided to give over $3 million to building this dinosaur over on the business loop. Yep. Oh, and by the way, when we did that, we also now earmark over $500,000 a year in operating expenses to the facility. The city is putting that in. So if you go, well, we're spending a lot. Yeah, you are. Over the next 5 years, you'll spend, well, for the next 6 years, you'll spend another $3+ million on the whole damn thing. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take our leave.